What makes the US dollar so powerful? And why does it seem like the US can just keep borrowing forever? The US dollar isn't just America's currency, it's the world's reserve currency. That means most international trade, oil, metals, goods, is priced in dollars. So countries all over the world need dollars to do business. But how does the US create and move all this money? It doesn't just print more cash. It borrows by issuing something called Treasury bonds. Part 1. What are Treasury bonds? When the government needs to spend more than it earns on things like infrastructure, defense, or social programs, it borrows. It sells Treasury bonds. Investors, such as banks, regular people, buy those bonds. In return, they get paid interest over time. As of 2025, the US owes over $34 trillion. The more the government spends, the more bonds it issues. Part 2. Why the world buys US bonds. Why do other countries buy these bonds? Because US bonds are considered safe, and they're a good way to store value, especially if you're holding a lot of dollars. Countries that export to the US earn lots of dollars. Instead of letting that money sit, they reinvest it into Treasury bonds, which completes a loop. Trade earns dollars. Dollars buy bonds. More bonds means more US spending, which means more trade. Part 3. Cracks in the system. Debt, tariffs, and selling bonds. But recently, that system is under pressure. Inflation pushed interest rates higher, making it more expensive for the US to borrow. At the same time, trade tensions and tariffs, especially with China, are making countries less willing to hold US debt. In fact, China has been selling off US Treasury bonds. With fewer foreign buyers, the US must raise interest rates to attract new ones, making debt even more expensive. It's a feedback loop. More debt means higher rates, means more costs to borrow, which means more debt. The dollar's power, and America's global influence, depends on trust. Trust in the economy, trust in its ability to pay its debts. But if that trust fades, so does demand for the dollar and for Treasury bonds, and that could reshape the global financial system. The US dollar and Treasury bonds form the engine behind US debt, global trade, and economic stability. Understanding how they work together helps us see how money moves, and what might happen when it stops moving the way we expect. If you found this interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more insights on money, data, and how the world works.